Today, I'm gonna show you how to make a vision board for 2026, the exact method I use every single year, and the reason mine actually works. Your vision board should not be a collage of things you think you should want. It should be a map, a strategic, personalized plan for the life that you actually want to build. So in this video, I'm gonna show you the exact 4-step system I use every single year, so that you'll be able to create a vision board that's not only beautiful, but aligned, realistic, and deeply personal. One that inspires you and moves you forward. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Veronika. I make videos on self-improvement, sustainable habits, and creating a life you love. If you want to go deeper, I have a few tools that might support you. Aligned, my free weekly newsletter. The Life Design Notion template, which includes habit tracking, goal setting, and reading organization. The weekly planner, a simple one-page document you can print every week. I'll leave all the links below if you want to explore them later. Okay, so let's begin with the first step. And before you even start creating a vision board for 2026, I want you to do a life audit. We're going to look back at 2025 and think about all the wonderful things you have achieved. Because unfortunately, a lot of us tend to pick apart what went wrong. We criticize ourselves so much every single December because we focus on all of the goals we weren't able to achieve. And instead of going into this vision board creation with positive, amazing energy, we go into it feeling drained and exhausted before we even begin. So that is why here are 5 questions I want you to answer. What went well this year? Let's for a second stop being so negative and think about all the amazing and wonderful things that you have actually achieved. What didn't go so well this year? This question is not for you to criticize yourself, to nitpick yourself. This question is for you to reflect and then think if you need to change something for 2026. What unexpected blessings happened this year? The reason why I love to include this question in my life audit every single year is because as a former control freak, I would always plan absolutely everything. And if something didn't go as planned, I would literally freak out. But the thing is, sometimes the most beautiful things are the things that are not planned. It will really help you let go of control at least a little bit as you move into 2026. What did I learn this year? It can be something practical, emotional, spiritual, whatever it is. Your biggest lessons. What photo from this year brings a smile to my face and why? I personally love going through my photo library and just looking at all of my images, also because I love to declutter my phone pretty regularly, and just choosing one picture or maybe 2 or maybe 3, but try to stick to just a few photos that really bring a smile to your face, especially when you think about this year, 2025. Okay, step number 2. We're slowly crawling towards our vision board creation, but before that, I really want you to do your wheel of life. This is the exercise I do every single year because it helps me look at all of the areas of my life where I'm at right now and where I want to be by the end of 2026. I'm gonna link the website that I use every single year in the description. It's free to do. And the reason why I really like to do this exercise is because it helps you look at your life in this realistic way. Because when we're gonna move to vision board creation, you're not just gonna pick cute images. You're gonna choose goals that actually close those gaps between where you are right now and where you want to be. That's exactly why this wheel of life step matters so much. It's gonna ask you 24 questions in total. They're all very, very simple and connected to all of the main areas of life. So let's do the wheel of life very quickly together. I'm just gonna choose random numbers as an example. How satisfied are you currently with your career and vocation? Let's do 7. And how satisfied do you want to be with your career and vocation in the future? Let's do 9. Alright, so here we have your wheel of life, where you are right now and where you want to be in the future. And the light blue color basically represents the gaps. And The images on your vision board are going to try to close those gaps. Some of the scores here are pretty low, and I did it intentionally, like 4 and 5, because low numbers are okay too. If you don't want to, you shouldn't try to make every single area a 10. Most likely it's going to be extremely unrealistic. I used to be a very crazy perfectionist, and when I learned that I didn't have to make every single area a 10, I was like, what? Are you kidding me? I actually want to make every single area a 10 and I'm gonna do it. And as a result, I burned out. I was absolutely exhausted. Not everything has to be a 10. Maybe some areas are at a 5, at a 6, and honestly, you would want to keep them at a 5 or at a 6 to focus your energy on other areas that are more important to you right now. Personally, how I like to approach choosing what gaps I actually want to close is I focus on my feelings. Because the point of this exercise, the Wheel of Life, is to see the biggest emotional gaps for you right now. When you think about this gap, maybe let's say it's your physical health, and you realize that your physical health, the gap is 3. Your current state is 4, your future goal is 7, and this creates a lot of emotions. You're excited, you're motivated. This is something that you want to spend your time and energy on. This is how I would approach choosing what gaps I actually want to close. This way you can clearly feel what goals need to be created and what priorities need to be set. Alright, so now that you have your Wheel of Life in front of you, this is where the magic starts. Let's move to step 3. Creating your vision board. First, let me say something super important here. Most people think that vision board creation is all about picking random Pinterest photos of things that they think they should want. If you feel this pressure, if you think that, oh my god, everyone else has it, so I have to put it on my vision board too, don't do it. Really think about what you want and what's important to you, even if it seems silly. If no one was watching, would you actually want to do it? Also, most people make the mistake of trying to fix their entire life in 1 year. A strategic vision board helps you choose 2 to 4 areas that actually matter to you the most right now. These become your priority themes for 2026. Okay, so now that we understand how to choose images, let's talk about what images to choose. I highly recommend choosing process-based images and outcome-based images. What I mean by that is try to find images that represent the outcome that you want to achieve, but also images that represent the process to get there. Because a vision board that works needs both outcomes and processes. The reason why I stress this so much is because there's been some research done in psychology that shows that when people vividly imagine the end result, their energy levels actually drop. Because there are 2 types of dopamine involved in motivation. Your outcome dopamine, when you imagine the end result, your dopamine hits and you already feel good, but you obviously haven't achieved this thing yet. And action dopamine, when you take a step and dopamine reinforces this behavior. And so when it comes to your vision board creation, I don't want you to get all the dopamine by creating the vision board, and then when you actually think about going and achieving all of those goals, you feel weird, like you don't actually want to do it. That is not how I want to approach vision board creation. All the images on your vision board are like a small map that keeps you oriented, but you must walk the path. And if walking the path makes you miserable, probably those are not the right goals for you. Because let's be honest, thinking alone and staring at your vision board won't change your life. Enjoyable action is a non-negotiable for success. So that is why, for example, on this vision board that I created for 2025, I included me getting my yoga teacher certificate. This is the outcome, right? The goal that I want to achieve. But the process is me doing asanas or reading books or actually going and doing my yoga teacher training and also saving money for it. If I think about all of these these images that represent the process, do I get excited? If the answer is yes, then okay, I should put the outcome, image too. But if I think about the process and I'm like, I don't want to do it, then probably that's not the right goal for you. I always try to find images that represent my goals, but also that resonate with me emotionally. A big mistake I see is making a vision board all about things, not feelings or your values. This way you make sure that your vision board actually represents a life that's fulfilling, not just a life where you buy a bunch of stuff without even thinking about whether or not you need all of those things. Also, now I really love to approach vision board creation as a fun project. In the past, I would only allow myself to be very serious about this whole thing. I would only include goals that I knew I could control, like things that I knew I would 100% achieve. And the thing is, obviously, if you want to do that, you can obviously do that. But if you want to add a little bit more fun and creativity and just add images that inspire you, you can obviously do that too. For example, one image that I have here is going to a concert of Lana Del Rey because I really, really like her music, but I included it only because it's something that inspires me, and I figured if she came to my city, I would go see her, but I don't actually want to fly anywhere, at least right now. Maybe in a few years I would. Some of the images are more inspirational, let's put it this way, and some actually represent all of those emotional gaps that I want to close. The purpose of a vision board is to inspire and motivate you. It should be a source of positivity and hope in your life, not something you use to punish yourself. This is not a strict agreement. You can change your goals. That's absolutely okay. Another interesting idea that I want to experiment with this year is adding a picture of your younger self in the middle of your vision board. Right now, this one doesn't have this picture, and so I'm thinking for my vision board 2026, I do want to include a picture of me being a kid in the middle of my vision board. This way, when you look at your vision board, you see the image of little you who has all of these dreams and all of these aspirations. It makes you feel like you're actually going out there and achieving all of these goals for you, for your inner child. Reminds you that at the end of the day, you're doing all of this for you. If you want to use the template that I use every single year, that's based on the Wheel of Life, and then in the middle you have the picture of your younger self, you can download it completely for free for Canva. The link is going to be in the description. A bonus step number 4 that I really want to mention is setting up an action plan. Because if you want to go one step further, I highly recommend breaking down all of your big goals into small, manageable chunks. This way we ensure that you actually make progress towards your goals and they don't just stay as images on your vision board. If you like to use Notion, I have a whole Notion bundle called Your Life Design Notion Template. It includes 4 different templates and one of them is a goal tracker. It already includes a page for your vision board, some space for the screenshot of your Wheel of Life, and then all of the main areas of your life and every single big goal that you want to achieve there. Let's say you have a career goal this year that you want to complete some kind of professional certification. And this is a very big goal that actually includes a lot of small steps. And you can track all of that inside this Notion template. So if you want to get access to it, you can find it in the description below. The point of this 4th step is to remind you guys that vision boards should actually be called action boards. Because let's be honest here, the board itself doesn't make things happen. You do. And by creating a vision board and tracking your goals, you're essentially uniting positive thinking with positive doing. And this is exactly what helps you achieve all of your goals. Alright everyone, so I think it's going to be it for today's video. I really hope you liked it. I really hope now you know how to create a vision board for 2026 that actually works. If you want to learn how to create a life you love, click here. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you can, and I'll see you in my next video.